The housing price butcher arrives. Direct supply homes sweep across China. Group dance at a Japanese intersection angers the entire country. China's rogue group storms Hong Kong, and locals cry for help. Hundreds in Inner Mongolia fight over cabbages, and police can't stop them. Hello, and welcome to Open China. Recently, homebuyers across China have been buzzing about a new term, bank direct housing. These properties, directly listed by banks, are priced so low they almost seem too good to be true. A house originally valued at 2 million yuan is now available for just 1.5 million yuan, with clear ownership and no disputes. At first glance, this seems like the perfect opportunity, but in reality, it's the final struggle of China's real estate market. In Jiangsu's Nantong, Mr. Wang bought a property for under 900,000 yuan. Originally priced at 1.35 million yuan, the seller was a local city bank. The house had been collateral for a loan for a small business owner who defaulted. Mr. Wang said, "The price is 30% lower than the market value. The ownership is clear, and the whole process was completed in just 2 weeks, much faster than an auctioned property." This is not an isolated case. According to data from JD Assets, Lanzhou Bank listed 1,130 properties in 2024, with the number rising to 1,779 properties in 2025. Jilin Bank listed over 2,000, Tianjin Bank nearly 1,300, and Sichuan Rural Credit Union topped 25,000. These numbers reflect the unprecedented speed at which banks are clearing bad debts. Major state-owned banks like Agricultural Bank of China, China Construction Bank, and Bank of Communications have quietly entered the market, setting up teams to handle direct sales online. Compared to traditional foreclosures, bank direct housing appears more flexible and cleaner. A real estate agent in Guangzhou mentioned that auctioned properties often come with complicated disputes. Some are occupied by tenants, others have been mortgaged multiple times, and some have unclear ownership. Buyers frequently find themselves losing both money and the property. In contrast, direct sale properties undergo 3 rounds of ownership checks before listing, ensuring no hidden problems. But the most attractive feature is the price. In Lanzhou, a property listed by a local commercial bank is priced at just 2,300 yuan per square meter, while similar homes in the area are still listed above 4,300 yuan. A commercial property in Tianjin sold for 4,200 yuan per square meter, nearly 40% below market value. In Guangdong's Yunfu, a property was listed at just 80,000 yuan, a drastic discount. These bank direct properties have set new price benchmarks, leaving homeowners lamenting, "With banks selling at these prices, we have no room to lower ours." Behind this phenomenon is the massive pressure from banks' non-performing assets. Official data from China's financial regulators shows that in September 2025, the non-performing loan ratio for commercial banks was only 1.49%, lower than the 1.84% ratio before the pandemic. However, data released by the central bank reveals a different reality. From 2021 to September 2025, the total number of written-off loans reached 5.92 trillion yuan, suggesting a real non-performing write-off rate of around 5.2%. In other words, bad debts have not disappeared, they've just been handled in a more presentable way. A post-loan management officer from a city commercial bank shared that in the past, it took at least 2 years for a bad housing loan to go through legal procedures and be auctioned. With so many bad debts piling up now, banks have had to take quicker action. Once they gain ownership through legal procedures, they list the properties directly, and a house can be sold within 6 months. The employee said, "There are too many bad debts, and keeping them is too risky. It's better to clear them with discounts." In this financial reckoning, former real estate tycoons have become real estate bears. Banks, no longer using leverage to drive up prices, have become the leading force in driving down prices. Imagine a scenario in a neighborhood. 10 homeowners are holding out for properties priced in the millions, and then the bank lists 30 homes for sale, each priced at 700,000 yuan. Instantly, market prices collapse. The homes that were once valued at 1 million yuan are now struggling to sell for 800,000. This chain reaction is unfolding at a visibly rapid pace. From January to October 2025, over 600,000 auction properties were listed nationwide, but only 138,000 were sold, resulting in a clearance rate of less than 30%. Buyers are hesitating, and transactions have stagnated, while the bank direct housing market has entered at lightning speed, quickly absorbing the remaining purchasing power with low prices. The market has been forced to reassess. Second-hand home prices are being pressured downward. Developers' new properties are receiving no interest, and land auctions by local governments have repeatedly failed. In Kaifeng, Henan, a local real estate agent chuckled and said, In the past, speculators were raising prices desperately. Now the banks are slashing prices themselves. His clients are constantly sharing the latest direct sale bargain lists, with some properties priced 40% below market value. These seemingly bargain deals are pushing the entire housing market deeper into deflation. What's even more worrying is that the direct sales boom could trigger a new wave of defaults. As bank sales lower property prices, some homeowners find that their outstanding mortgage amounts now exceed the current value of their homes. With no incentive to keep paying, this will further increase the supply of bad debts. The faster the banks clear out their inventory, the faster the price chain in the market collapses. Real estate agents are also feeling the impact. Bank direct housing eliminates agency fees, as buyers can directly search, view, apply for loans, and transfer ownership online, saving 2 to 3% in commissions. Traditional agents who don't shift to becoming bank cooperation consultants or asset disposal coordinators may be phased out by the times. The rise of bank direct housing seems like a financial system's attempt at self-rescue, but in reality, it's a further lethal blow to China's housing market. While bank direct housing is sweeping across China, a short video filmed by Chinese people in Japan have taken the country by storm. In just 3 days, the video accumulated over 3.3 million views, but this high viewership isn't because of the dancing, but because of how embarrassing the video is. The video features a group of Chinese influencers known for their basketball dance performing in the middle of the busiest intersection in Shibuya, Tokyo. With basketballs in hand, they gyrate and pose while filming. For these influencers, it may have seemed like a perfect street performance to showcase cultural export, but for many Japanese viewers, it was nothing short of disruptive and rude. One comment reads, "I hate foreign people who don't consider others, especially those who dance like this in public spaces. I'm so fed up with it." Another says, "Do you think this is showing charm? No, it's just flaunting your stupidity." Others write, "If you really want to make a video, film it in your own country and upload it there." Basketball dance? It's so outdated. This style is 10 years behind. It's just so awkward. In Japan, even street musicians choose places where they don't disturb others, but foreigners insist on performing in intersections, on trains, and in restaurant areas. We can't stand it. Do you even have a permit to use the road? Dancing in the middle of Shibuya is illegal. Go back to China. These harsh comments from Japanese netizens reflect their deep frustration with what they see as ill-mannered foreigners. In Japanese culture, public order is almost a fundamental principle of society. People lower their voices in trains and avoid causing disturbances in public. Shibuya Crossing is an iconic symbol of Tokyo, known as the busiest intersection in the world. There, thousands of people cross in all directions whenever the light turns green. This location is not only a major traffic hub, but also a key aspect of the city's image. Yet, these Chinese influencers chose to shoot their video at the busiest time and in the most visible spot. As they bounced their basketballs between the moving cars and crowds, they seemed oblivious to the surrounding chaos. In fact, Japanese people aren't entirely opposed to street photography. Local Japanese influencers often film in Shibuya, but they usually choose quieter spots like the edges of sidewalks, outside cafes, or in areas where traffic is lighter at night. Comments from Japanese netizens about them are generally positive, describing the videos as cute, creative, and full of Tokyo flavor. Tourists from Europe, the US, and New Zealand also often take selfies or record short videos during red light gaps, but they typically keep it brief, under 20 seconds, and they avoid blocking others. Japanese people usually have a tolerant attitude, saying, as long as it's not disruptive, it's fine. However, the behavior of these Chinese influencers was simply too much for many Japanese to handle. This is not the first time Chinese individuals have made headlines abroad for inappropriate behavior. From dancing in Thai temples to vandalizing Paris streets, from trespassing at Icelandic landmarks for wedding photos to showing off in Shibuya, the scenes of Chinese embarrassment keep repeating. Sadly, many of these young people confidently showing off on camera truly believe they represent a kind of national confidence. Little do they know, to the locals, they're really annoying. True cultural export doesn't rely on taking over spaces or attention-grabbing stunts. It's about respect and knowing one's limits. As one Japanese netizen commented, "You want to be the star on camera, but to us, you're just a joke. Take your basketball dance and go back to your country." In reality, true strength isn't about boldly dancing on other streets. It's about knowing when to stay quiet and respectful. Unfortunately, for many Chinese people, especially the elderly, the simple concept of staying quiet in public is 1,000 times harder than keeping a classroom of elementary school students quiet. On November 11th, a video that went viral on social media triggered a storm in both Hong Kong and mainland China. The footage showed a group of middle-aged and elderly people They were dressed in blue uniforms, walking in a neat line along Victoria Harbour in Hong Kong. As they walked, they waved their arms and marched loudly, while behind them, a high-volume sound system blasted a heavy beat. This group was known as China's Marching Group. While it's nothing new in mainland cities, this time they brought their march to Hong Kong. In the video, the peaceful waterfront area was suddenly surrounded by deafening music. Many tourists who had been resting by the water and enjoying the night view appeared visibly annoyed, and some even left the area. Someone filmed the scene and uploaded it to the internet, where it quickly garnered over 100,000 views and sparked a flurry of comments. It turns out that this marching group came from Shenzhen and arrived early that day via tourist bus to Hong Kong. They had planned a healthy walking activity along Victoria Harbour, but it turned into a noise bombardment instead. In Hong Kong, public spaces have clear noise regulations. The playground regulations stipulate that if music played in public causes disturbance, the offender can be fined up to 10,000 Hong Kong dollars and imprisoned for 14 days. While the video doesn't show police intervention, many Hong Kong netizens couldn't help but express their anger in the comments. One comment reads, "Disrupting the order and peace, really selfish." Another bluntly criticized, "Low-class culture. Do they have to show it in Hong Kong too?" One person even joked, "If we carry a Vindicate June 4th banner in front of them, let's see if they still march." Even mainland Chinese netizens couldn't stand it and commented, "What a shame, bringing embarrassment to Hong Kong." Others said, "Which province are these people from? They were embarrassing us in Korea, and now they're doing it everywhere." Some even sighed, "Being hated in mainland China isn't enough, now they have to go to Hong Kong to be looked down upon. It's just unbelievable." In fact, this marching group has long been a controversial social phenomenon in mainland China. They often cause social conflicts due to excessive noise, blocking roads, and disrupting traffic. On July 15th this year, a marching group in the Daling River scenic area in Chaoyang City, Liaoning Province, occupied a road along the river and even blocked the passage of ambulances and fire trucks. The related video went viral online, drawing widespread criticism. Many netizens believed these people were using fitness as an excuse, but were actually disregarding rules and disrupting order. As early as July 2017, a fatal accident occurred in Lingyi, Shandong Province. It was caused by a marching group. At 5 a.m., a group of marchers occupied the road, and a taxi coming from behind crashed into the crowd. The accident resulted in 1 death and 2 injuries. The tragedy brought the marching group issue to national attention for the first time. On the evening of November 11, 2024, the same day as the Hong Kong incident, a horrifying car accident occurred at the Zhuhai Sports Center in Guangdong Province. A man drove his car into a marching group walking the square, causing 38 deaths and 47 injuries. This shocking incident stunned the entire country and once again pushed the marching group disorder to the forefront of public discourse. In addition to the disturbing marching group phenomenon, another shocking event took place recently in Shifeng City, Inner Mongolia. A cabbage farmer, Mr. Li, saw over 30 acres of his crops raided by hundreds of people in just 2 days, causing an estimated loss of over 1 million yuan. The incident began in a short video on social media. An influencer called Confident Sister showed herself loading cabbages onto a truck, with a caption claiming, "Inner Mongolia's cabbages were hit by hail and are free to pick up." What started as a small-scale post quickly triggered a massive rush to steal the cabbages. Initially, only a few local villagers came to pick the cabbages out of customary practice, which Mr. Li thought was harmless. However, at the end of October, the official media outlet Hongshan Evening News reposted the video without verifying the information, causing the rumors to spread rapidly. On November 4th, a large crowd of people surged into the fields and began to steal cabbages. Video footage showed hundreds of people with sacks, riding electric bikes, and even driving trucks into the fields. The crowd moved like a tidal wave, with some even tearing down the protective nets. 5 or 6 workers at the scene were powerless to stop them. Mr. Li helplessly said, "I never said they were free. Even when the police arrived, they couldn't stop them. In the end, all the cabbages were stolen." Agricultural experts pointed out that cabbage, being a seasonal vegetable, has strict timing for harvesting. Of the 30 acres of cabbage, about 60% had reached the optimal harvesting standard. However, the rest were damaged due to mechanical harm and delayed harvesting, causing a significant decline in quality. More seriously, the mass looting also caused about 100,000 yuan in damage to the field equipment, leading to severe losses for Mr. Li. Despite his repeated pleas on social media, the crowds continued to rush in. Whether it's wild dancing in Japan, chaos in Hong Kong, or cabbage looting in Inner Mongolia, these events reveal a deep moral issue among many Chinese people. Under the long-standing education of the Chinese Communist Party's culture, they often prioritize personal gain, lack basic respect for others and their property, and show little understanding or care for public order and fundamental ethics.